Indian Christians. Christians numbering over 16.1 million or 2.43% of the population are next to the Muslims, the second largest religious minority of India. Christianity, like Islam, was introduced into India by foreigners. Although never in its history was it rammed down the throats of the unwilling heathen, much of the proselytization was carried out under the patronage of Christian rulers and often induced by hopes of worldly gain. As a result, despite the enormous educational, medical, and social work done by Christians, they are looked upon with a kind of benign contempt, a common epithet used for them in Maharashtra, in Makapao, bread eater, and several states have passed legislation restricting Christian missionary activity. Christianity came early to India. Thomas Didymus the Apostle came to Malabar in the year AD 52. Although his mission was to convert Jews who had preceded him to India, once in the country, he decided to take on the Gentile heathen. For his pains, the Gentiles murdered him. Nothing more was heard of Christianity in India for 3 centuries. In the year 345 AD, Thomas of Canaan, a merchant prince, brought 72 Christian families, about 400 men and women, from Syria. They became the nucleus of Syrian church in Malabar. After the Arabs became masters of the sea, there was little communication between Syrian Christians of India and the Christians of the Middle East. Some European missionaries like Friar John of Monte Corvino did briefly appear on the scene in AD 1291 to 92 but made little impact. The Syrian Christian community of present-day Kerala is one of the oldest in Christendom. Many of the names derive from Old Testament, namely Mathai from Matthew, Verugis and Thomas from their founder and patron saint. Music of the Orient, from world music, a very short introduction, Philip de V. Bolman. There was no equivocating when it came to stating that the goals of the music of the Orient were different from those of the demonstration collection. By the early 1930s, monographs and more popular studies of world music had begun to appear in significant numbers, spurred on by the popularization of humanistic scholarship in general. Recordings too had won a new place in the public sphere during the 1920s, creating new audience who possessed gramophones in their homes. Music of the Orient, released on the Odeon and Parlophone labels, at the time German and English transnational recording labels, intentionally meant to take advantage of these several transformations in the consumption of music. If it were just a matter that music of the Orient competed economically for the place never quite occupied by the demonstration collection, sales of earlier anthology dropped off entirely once music of the Orient appeared. The story of these two anthologies would be much simpler. Music of the Orient told a different story and narrated a different history of world music, and it did so by anthologizing in a different way, exemplified in Figure 5, an art song from Tunis in Makam Mejmam. In more ways than one, the two recorded anthologies represent African musics that were geographically, ontologically, and historically entirely unlike each other. Whereas the demonstration collection places considerable emphasis on sub-Saharan Africa, an object of colonial desire for Germany in the pre-World War I era, music of the Orient considers only North Africa. The site of collecting for the former is the field and mission station where very specific types of cultural work were being done, with which comparative musicology was collaborating. The site of collecting in North Africa is the town, the cosmopolitan center, where both Andalusian, that is quasi-medieval European, and modern European, that is the violin, which Hornbostel assures the reader of the European influences mixed with the ancient view of life. Hornbostel was not himself the collector, but his Berlin colleague in ethnomusicology, Robert Luchmann, was. The musical others who inhabit these very different sites could not contrast more with each other, or could they? In fact, we witness in both cases that musicians are traveling along a historical track that brings them close to the West, either through conversion to Christianity in sub-Saharan Africa or through demolition of the borders between Europe and North Africa in the Tunisian art song, which would play an important role in 1932 Cairo Congress of Arab Music. The backbiter, Al Humaza. In the name of God, the most gracious, the most merciful, woe to the every fault-finding backbiter who amasses wealth, counting it over, thinking that his wealth may make him live forever. By no means he shall surely be cast into the crushing torment. Would that you understood what that crushing torment is like. It is a fire kindled by God, reaching right into the hearts of men. It closes in on them from every side in towering columns. The passage of time, Al Asr. In the name of God, the most gracious, the most merciful, I swear by the passage of time that man is surely in a state of loss, except for those who believe and do good deeds and exhort one another to hold fast to the truth, and who exhort one another to steadfastness.